This is the case of a patient with ischemic cardiomyopathy implanted with a dual lead ICD, and we could find in the memory of the device an episode of SVT diagnosed because of the absence of sudden onset. When you look at the plot, it is clearly in favor of a ventricular tachycardia with a ventricular regular rate much faster than the atrial rate. So it seems that there is an atrioventricular dissociation. If you look carefully at the dots, you can see that the cycles are at the limit of the VT zone. When you look at the EGM, it's obviously a ventricular tachycardia with atrioventricular dissociation and a ventricular rate faster than the atrial rate. But if you look carefully at the cycles, the limit for the VT zone is 420 milliseconds. So you see that first, the tachycardia is just slower than the VT zone. Then there is a subtle acceleration and the cycles enter the VT zone. So for the device, there's no abrupt change in the ventricular rate and no sudden onsets. So you can see here the marker reset onset. Indeed, since in the absence of sudden onsets, all ventricular EGM are labeled VS and the VT counter is continuously reset. Now, if you look at the programming, you can see that both the PR logic and the other enhancements, stability and onset, are programmed on. And if you look at the episode with the PR logic, the diagnosis of VT would have been obvious with this dissociation and a ventricular rate faster than the atrial rate. However, if you program the onset, for example in this example, first you need to have a sudden onset and then a stability of the ventricular rhythm before the intervention of the PR logic. So in this case, there's no sudden onset and the device classifies the episode as a SVT. The solution in this patient is probably to deprogram these two single lead discrimination parameters, the stability and the onset. In this case, the PR logic will work in first intention. For the stability and the onset, we program these parameters only when there is a dysfunction of the PR logic, for example, when there is a problem of atrial undersensing.